Hey everybody, it is Ellen Lewis from Crazy for You, and welcome. I am so glad you're here. This looks a little different, doesn't it? So that is because I am still in Seattle with my beautiful daughter who had a baby, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And so I am in her space. And fortunately, she and her husband are both very techie. So she had the whole setup for me and lovely background. I was like, yes, this is perfect. So yay, worked out great. Let me know if you can't hear me. Okay, so put in the chat if the sound is okay because I don't have my regular mic with me. But other than that, I'm really happy with the light. It's only 4 o'clock here in Seattle, so the light coming in from the window is pretty good. So anyway, what's it like where you are? Tell me in the comments. So today I wanted to share with you little updates on some stuff that I have been doing. Lots of you are doing the Luna knit along with me, and I apologize for not having gotten episode 3 and 4 out there. I did record those on, I guess last week when I was here by myself. And then after Elizabeth came home with the baby, things got kind of busy and I haven't had a chance to edit those and put them out, but I absolutely will. But I wanted to share with you where I am on the Luna. I know Rita has already finished hers and worn it, so that's awesome. I'm hoping to wear this on the way home when I leave here. But so here it is. I have sewn the shoulders, and I did a video of seaming the shoulders, so I'll be putting that out. And I also seamed one of the sleeves, which I also videoed, so I'll show that as well. But before I did both sleeves, I wanted to make sure that the video that I took actually worked out. So if it didn't, I would have a chance to go ahead and seam it again. But I'm really happy with it. So yeah, it's the Rowan Four Seasons cotton, and it's all in garter stitch. The body is in garter stitch, but the sleeve is stockinette with garter stitch at the top. And I think it's really cute. I'm looking forward to wearing it. I don't know what the weather is like back home in Maryland, but it's a perfect sweater for here in Seattle. So let's see what's up with the chat. Hey, Jal. Hi, Susie. Nice to see you. Hey, Rita. Oh, thank you. Congratulations. I appreciate that. Yay. Beautiful, beautiful day in North Mississippi. Hey, Amelia. All right. So glad you guys are here. Wonderful to see you. Anyway, so this is all done except for the seaming. And then I need to decide whether I want to do that cowl neck or whether I just want to finish the neckline off really simply and then maybe with my leftover yarn knit a separate cowl that I can wear if I want to bring this into a more cold weather kind of garment, because it definitely will stand up to a little bit cooler weather. So I'm thinking of this as a really nice transition piece with the color that I did, boring gray. I love boring gray. I do think it'll carry me into the fall. So I'm excited about it. And I'm happy with the pattern. I think the pattern is well written. I think it makes pretty good sense. I did the neckline according to the pattern, which I typically don't love, that whole turn and work back thing, but I did do it and I think it's okay. The only change that I did make was that I bound off the back neck. And you guys know how I feel about having a back neck bind off. I feel like it's really important to have your back neck stitches bound off because you don't want the entire weight of your sweater to be borne by the bind off at the finishing. So anyway, that's just my little not secret, but my little tip that I like to do whenever I'm making anything. I don't necessarily bind off the front neck, but I always bind off the back neck. So yay. Let's see. Hey, Terry. I think Rita says, I missed the moment. It's in the 80s now. Well, it's still just May. And as I recall growing up, May could also be very cold. So we'll see. And even so, I may still wear it just because I run a little bit cold and everybody seems to over air condition everything. So I may just have to put it on just because. We'll see though. Hey, Phyllis. Yay. All right. Almost finished with side one of Luna. Good, good, good. Okay. I know Terry's ready for hers. She sent an email. Hey, Anne, nice to see you. Terry's ready for her next couple sessions on the Luna. So I'll get those out for you soon. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is the Lizzy that I've been working on. Those of you who have knit a Cocoknits Emma, you know that you have the workbook already, the Cocoknits Method workbook. And it's not just about the Emma. You know, there are a bunch of other really cute patterns in there. And one of them that I have always admired is Lizzy, which is this cute little kind of open cardigan with an angle. You know, it's a kind of a drape front. So the cardigan front angles all the way down. So you've got a whole bunch more fabric than just a very straight cardigan. So I think that's a really, really attractive look. And I've been excited about it. So I've been working on that while I'm here. And I've got quite a bit done. It takes a lot longer than the Emma, of course, because it's a finer gauge. The gauge on the Emma is 12 stitches to 4 inches, and the gauge on Lizzy is 20. So it's like 40% more stitches and 40% more knitting each row. But anyway, it's coming along. It's got a very, very interesting collar construction that you do with a provisional cast on. I quite like this. This is done with a seamless cast on. So my cast on was actually right here. You can't see it, can you? Yay, because you're not supposed to. It's a Judy's Magic cast on, and that's a fun thing that you'll learn if you're taking this class with me. So to use the Judy's Magic cast on in an application that isn't socks. So Judy's Magic cast on is usually something that you use at the toe of a toe-up sock and work up, but this application is to make this really pretty collar. So I'm excited about it, and it's fun, and I think it gives it a really polished look. I have not seamed the collar to the garment yet, but what happens is it seams right back here. And I may go ahead and seam that before I finish, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, right now I'm just enjoying working through the worksheet, and it's kind of mindless when you have that worksheet, you know, so it's been nice for me to sort of do while I'm sitting and waiting to see what I will be needing to do next, whether it is changing a diaper or keeping the troops fed and watered, or, you know, what all, just being there. As you know, any of you who are grandparents know the job is simply to, as I said in the newsletter, to provide moral support and, you know, remind them that they're doing a really great job, right? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Tell me what it's been like for you to be a grandparent. So I know Susie is a wonderful grandparent who has done quite a lot for her grandkids, and I know that must be wonderful. My only grandchild, of course, is all the way across the country. So I guess I'm going to be getting quite a few frequent flyer miles going on here, right? So anyway, this is Lizzy, and as with all Cocoknits, you have this wonderful set-in sleeve kind of construction, right? It's not a set-in sleeve because it's worked separate. It's worked all contiguously, but it gives you that effect. And I'm really crazy about it. As you know, I'm not a top-down in the round girl, but I do think that this method is very cool. And if you haven't tried Cocoknits yet, you might want to do that. You might want to try the Emma class. I am working on a standalone on-demand class for Emma. It's almost done, and that will be available for you at some point soon. So very cool. All right, now for the main thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, unless anybody had any questions about anything. Let's see, and Shelly. Ah, Shelly, best job ever. I know Shelly's a grandma, and she welcomed me to the best club ever. So that's very sweet. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the new Noro magazine. So many of you have probably seen the magazine on Ravelry. I know we have it in the store and available. And there's quite a lot of crochet in the magazine, which is very, very cool. And I was thinking that I would do a whole presentation just on the crochet. So, because, that's kind of a different mood. And I think it might be interesting just to sort of focus on the crochet patterns and maybe get Mary on board to see which of them might be good for those of us who are more beginning crochet people and for those who already have a lot of crochet skills. So tell me in the chat if crochet appeals to you, if that's something that you would be willing to learn or already know how to do and are just looking for more attractive crochet patterns, because I think they really did a nice job with this one. So interested in hearing that. Okay. Gail, let's see. The yarn that I am using for Lizzie right now, this is Rowan Creative Linen, which is a DK weight cotton and linen blend. And I really, really do like this yarn. It knits nicely, it wears like iron, and it gives a lot of drape, not as much as in the book. So I know you have the book, Gail, and if you look at the Lizzie pattern, it talks about using a fingering weight or a heavy fingering weight yarn for Lizzie to give you that really open fabric. For me, I wanted something that was a little less open. Plus, when I'm teaching the Cocoknits method, I think it's a little easier to see the construction and to see the increases and all of that when the gauge is not really so different from the gauge of the yarn that you're using. So I think a DK or a sport weight yarn would be perfect for maybe your first Lizzie. This one would work, the Creative Linen that I'm using. The new Rowan Cotton Revive would be a beautiful option. And several of the new Noros, I think, would also be gorgeous. The existing Noros, I think Kakagori would be fantastic in Lizzie. Kompieto would be beautiful in Lizzie. That's that same kind of overall solid with the fleck look. And then also their other new yarn, Natusmeki, which is more of a stripe, would be really pretty also. So that's what I'm using. Let's see, Amelia. I'm working on learning. Oh, good, excellent. So I do think that there's a good bit of crochet interest. We had a crochet class. Mary taught a very cute bag. It was a daisy bag. Those of you who are on the newsletter list probably saw that project and that class. We had quite a few people that took the class, and then we had quite a few other people who bought the kit and wanted to make it on their own because they already knew how to crochet. So I'm really seeing it. Trisha Malcolm has been talking about this for several years. She's always on the cutting edge of, what's coming in terms of trending. And crochet has been really ramping up in terms of popularity. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because of the so many younger people getting involved with it, like with the amigurumi, or I really don't know. I wish I could tell you why. One thing I do know about crochet is that it is impossible to create using a machine. So anytime you see a crochet garment, you know that it has been made by hand. There is a machine that makes a crochet looking thing, and they call it fauché. I don't know that I could tell the difference, but I think most people who do crochet could tell the difference between something that's an actual crochet and something that's a faux crochet. But it has been gaining in popularity, and I think as a response, the garments that we're seeing have been more attractive and more, I don't know, just they're more stylish, and it's coming back in. So I think that's really cool. That's the long way of saying that what I'm showing you right now in this presentation is not the crochet selection. These are just the knitted sweater selections that I thought were the kind of the standout items from this particular issue. Let's see. Oh, I already saw that. Okay, so let me go ahead and share with you my screen, and I'll show you my favorites from Noro 24. And so this is what the cover looks like. Very pretty, I think, these two. And the two new yarns, as I said, are Kompieto and Natusmeki. Kompieto is this one in the back. It's a DK weight yarn, and it is, as I said, it is not a self-striping yarn. It's much more of an overall flecked yarn. It reminds me of the Silk Garden Sock tweed that we all liked for the, what the heck was the name of that sweater that we all did? The terrazzo. So it reminds me a lot of that, but it's a cotton blend. And the Natusmeki, I think I've spelled that wrong. The Natusmeki is much more of a striping, as you will see in some of the garments that I've selected to show you. Okay, so this is Cortland, and this is worked in the Kompieto. So you can see that sort of overall shading, right? It's definitely, this is the purple color, and it definitely reads purple, but you can see that it has the flecks and then just more of a subtle striation in it. I think it's beautiful. And then here you can see it's got a twisted cable up the front, and this is worked flat and seamed. So it's a raglan construction, and that the fact that it's worked flat, I think, gives it a little bit better fit. I love a wider neck on a raglan. I think this is super attractive, really pretty. So let's see. Yes, Amelia likes that. Good to know. Oh, thank you, Jana. I appreciate that. So this is Cortland. Okay, and this is Elridge. I think this is very pretty. This is worked in Tsubami, which is not a new yarn this season. Those of you who've been with me a bit know that Tsubami is like 3 years old. I think it came out, gosh, I want to say it came out during the pandemic. Beautiful wool and silk blend. So it's a worsted weight, like half and half silk and wool. It's really, really gorgeous. It's very silky. And this is one of my favorite colors of Tsubami. Very pretty. You can see the close-up. It's got this little lacy cable interest in the front. And I like the way that they have taken that up and around the neckline. This is a beautiful piece that you could wear in the spring, in the fall. You could also layer this. I think this would be beautiful over a blouse or over a tee. So that's Elridge. Yeah. This is Essex. I think I love this. This is knit in Haro Ito, which was new last, maybe, gosh, I can't remember. I think this must have been new last season, Haro Ito. Yes, this was new last spring, summer. It is also a cotton blend, very pretty. What I like about this pattern, very easy to knit. You know, this is an oversized drop shoulder. And what they've done here, I especially like when you've got an oversized drop shoulder, the sides can look a little awkward if they're seamed. They tend to give you that sort of droop. But when you don't seam the sides this way, the body of the thing tends to lie better. And I think this is a really, really attractive look. I love the way they've done the cuff. I love everything about this. I think it's great looking. Yeah. Yes, Anne agrees. Tsubami during COVID. Yes, excellent. Good, good. Yeah, I think that's really nice. Amelia likes Eldridge. Yep, I think this is a good. This, again, this is not every single pattern in the magazine. There are lots. There's more than 30 patterns in this magazine. There's some accessories, and there's some, you know, redos from other seasons, but these are all new patterns that I really like. Debbie says you can see yourself making this. Yeah, this would be a good, I don't know if you're a newer knitter, Debbie, or new to garments, but this would be a great sweater for a newer garment knitter because the fit is very easy and the finishing is fairly minimal. Well, hello, Billy from Houston. It's nice to have you. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Okay, this is printemps. Printemps, just so you know, is French for springtime, and I think it is really pretty. This again is. Ooh, I said this is Haro Ito. Is this Haro Ito? Yes, this is Haro Ito. This is another raglan piece that's worked not flat, but from the top down. And when you work a raglan from the top down, you have the opportunity to make this pretty little lace pattern at the raglan line. You could do this also if it were seamed, but I think it just seems to be easier when you're working from the top down. So you can, if you see a Noro garment and that's a raglan and you're not sure whether it's worked from the top down in the round or not, have a look at the stripe width. So when you look at this particular garment, do you see how the stripes around the top are narrower than the stripes at the bottom? That's because the stripes at the top go all the way around up over the sleeve and it's all in one piece, whereas here it's in the body and they're a little wider. So when you're working something that's Noro in the round, the striping is going to be much more narrow than if this were worked in pieces. You follow what I'm saying? Let me know if I need to go over that. Let's see, what weight is Haro Ito? I believe Haro Ito is a light worsted. Yeah, this is a pretty color. I think this was the color we called when it came out. We called it the Easter egg color. I think it's beautiful. It doesn't look quite so Easter eggy. I think in the garment, I get more of the green, which to me does feel very springtimey. I like that. So let's see what else we got. Okay, so this is one of the ones that I featured in the newsletter. I think this is gorgeous. This is worked in kakigori, which is a very nice DK weight yarn. I love this colorway. It's knit flat, very, very oversized with a dropped shoulder. You would not have to seam the sides. One of the things, if you look at a lot of these very oversized garments, you'll see the model standing with her arms up. And what that does is it evens out the edge here. But you need to know that when you seam the sides of a super oversized drop shouldered garment, you're going to get a little bit of that droop at the bottom. So if it were me, I might kind of keep this split just below the lace pattern. And there is a very pretty lace pattern. See in the inset, you can see this pretty lace and garter ridge section. So very, very cute. Satoyama is a Japanese word that means kind of an environment where nature and corporate life have worked together. Somebody who is more skilled and knowledgeable in Japanese culture can explain that to me or put it in the comments. But I think it's really nice, and it does have this very earthy and organic feel, particularly in this kind of brownish green color, which is such a pretty neutral. All right, let's see. For printemps, how do you match the color of the yarn in order to have matching sleeves? Okay, let's have a look at that. So with printemps, it is going to match all the way down to here, regardless of what you do. Okay, so it's going to be matching until you divide for the sleeves. If you want both sleeves to match, you would knit the one sleeve, and then you would want to go and you would want to find a place in one of your other skeins of yarn that follows that same pattern. So you would be looking for where the yarn is gray, white, pink, black. Okay, and then you would want to find that and work in that direction. Now, depending on how you wound the yarn and whether you're working from the inside or the outside, you might have to, you might have to work from the opposite side, but you just want to find the place in the skein of yarn that has the same movement of colors, and you're working down from there. It's totally doable. It's a lot easier than it sounds, but yeah, that's how you do it. And that's how you would do it if you were, working something that wasn't worked in the round. So let's see. I don't know if I have one here. That. So I think if you look at this one, if you look at this on Ravelry, there's a second picture, and I don't believe that the sides match. I feel pretty strongly when I'm working with Noro Yarn that you either want the sides to match perfectly or not at all. Because if they almost match, it doesn't look all that great. But if they match, like kind of exactly, 2 thumbs way up. Or if they don't match at all, and that's completely fine too. A lot of what Noro does is they'll color block so that they'll work in tarja so that you have a much deeper section of one color coming up next to the other, because the Japanese aesthetic is not for it to match. They prefer it, I think. Let's see, we have some other comments. Is there always a defined order in the colors? Yes, absolutely. There's always a color pattern, and each skein is going to have that same color pattern. It's not going to start at the same place though, which is why if you're trying to match the colors, you might need to pull out several yards or, a whole chunk of it and then put that at the end. We call that engineering, Noro, and that's totally something that you can do. I think Amelia has done this. I know a bunch of us have done that. If you want them to match. It's nice if they match kind of on the front of a cardigan, and if they match sort of at the start of the sleeves, but I don't think they have to match exactly on the sleeves because nobody's really sort of looking at it like that. Clearly they've done that for these patterns, and it does look kind of nice, but if yours doesn't turn out that way, I still think they are absolutely beautiful. Yep, okay, so let's see, where are we? Essex. How many of you love this? How many of you really love that open side? I really do. I did my last Emma with an open side, and I am really into it. So tell me in the comments if that's a thing that you enjoy. Printemps, Satoyama. Yeah, this is really pretty. This is one of those I can see as part of a capsule wardrobe that you could take and you could wear with a variety of items. Same thing with this one, Shikoku, right, Shikoku. This is knit in Sonata, which is kind of a heavy fingering weight yarn. It's about 400 yards per 100 grams, and it is a cotton and silk blend. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. It has a really great texture, lovely to knit with, and it feels really wonderful. This is, again, very classic cardigan, very much part of a wardrobe piece. I love the little lace bit here. It makes it interesting to knit, interesting to wear. And I love a V-neck cardigan. I think it's just really, really beautiful. So, and I have Shikoku and Satoyama put together as kits. I think, like I said, if you're in the newsletter, if you're on the newsletter list, then you saw that. If not, you can just search for them on the website and the kit will come up. So yeah. So tell me what you like. Tell me which ones are your favorites, which ones you think you might actually make. I'm not sure. I really like the one, can't remember the name of it. Is it Essex? Let's see this one. Yes, I really like Essex. I think this is beautiful. What am I doing here? This? Yes, I really like this one. To me, it just looks so so comfortable to wear and so easy fit. And if you can look on the side here, you can see that I don't believe they match, sort of, maybe, kind of, sort of. Anyway, it's close enough, right? I think it looks really good. Rita likes, does Noro have dye lots? Noro does have dye lots. I have never found them to be much of a difference. When somebody orders yarn from me from the shop, I am going to do my very best to send out one dye lot. I'm never going to send out a mixed dye lot without contacting the customer and giving them my honest opinion about whether it matters. For the most part, Noro dye lots do not matter. But there have been times when, you know, they look a little different, and I'm always gonna check with that and see. So if you have a skein of this or that and you want to match it, then go ahead and call the shop and see. We might have that dye lot, and you know, if not, we might have, you know, some sense of whether they were really different when they came in. I think Noro does a really good job of being consistent on that. Plus, there's the whole striping thing. So if there is a difference in dye lot, it's very hard to tell, particularly with something like kakigori, where you have those sort of subtle gradations that look kind of organic anyway, right? Let's see. What fibers are in Essex? So Haro Ito, hang on just a quick second. I have Haro Ito up here. I have Essex up here, and I can tell you what that's got. Oh, wait, there is one more I wanted to show you. I forgot all about this. Let's see. Essex is Haro Ito. How quickly we forget, right? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I've forgotten what is in Haro Ito. I'm pretty sure it's a cotton silk blend. Most of Noro's new yarns are, you know, spring and summer yarns are some blend of cotton and silk with maybe some polyamide or microfiber in there for strength. When you see a cotton and silk blend, especially a single ply, it's nice to have some silk or some microfiber in there because it lightens it and it also gives it a little extra strength and structure. So that is probably what is in Haro Ito, but I can check and I will get back to you in the comments on that. Let's see. I like the cardi before Shikoku. Let's see, that is Satoyama. Yeah. So this is Satoyama. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. Did you see that in the newsletter, Jana? Yeah, I thought that was a beautiful one. Maybe you were asking about what fibers. That is Haro Ito. So yeah, that's Haro Ito. Okay, the last one that I wanted to show you. Look at these. How fun are these? Okay, I never in a million years imagined that I would knit a pair of pants, but I would definitely knit these. Maybe not in the orange, but I think these are super cute, particularly with the whole wide leg trend. I think these are gorgeous. Look at that pretty little lace trim at the bottom. Part of my issue, I think, with knitted pants is, that's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. So, yeah, with knitted pants is that I think I wouldn't want them to show more of me than I wanted to. But since these are so kind of oversized and loose, I think they would be really flattering. And that would be kind of fun. Who's with me? Who else would knit these pants? Let's see, what does Amelia say about the pants? Yeah, super comfy, right? These are, you know, these are one of the best things that happened from COVID is these super cozy, comfy pants. And I think also the way she has this styled with this crisp jacket, I think they look amazing. So very, very fun. All right, so that is what I have for you tonight, and I am glad that I could make this work at 4 o'clock. And I will be also next week. I'll still be in Seattle, so I will see you then. And thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have the most wonderful evening, and I will see you next week. Good night.